Night is designed to help you get more comfortable and confident on doing three-way calls for your teams. Just so you know, I love, I can't say it enough, love doing three-way calls for people that have already seen the information that you want to get on a prospect. If you're just looking to recruit a Passport Light member, like get a customer on the Passport Light or Passport, you probably don't need to involve me on getting a customer like that. I'm sure you guys would all agree. However, if you want some help sharing the vision of why our host agency is the best in the game and they just want to be a travel agent only, you can get me on those three-way calls. Or if you have somebody that wants to make money with us, whether they attach the Passport Light, the Passport, or the Passport Travel Agent Program, you can also get me on those as well. Does that make sense to everybody? But for just to, go out and get a Passport Light member or a regular member, you should be able to make those, commitments, or they should be able to make those commitments. It's a small investment to get major value with what we're doing. And so I'm going to give you guys kind of like a 30,000 foot above view. So when I do these three-way calls, I'm all about asking a lot of questions. And because the more I get out of people, the better they basically, whenever you ask a lot of questions, a lot of you guys know I use the terminology or the acronym FORM. It's FORM if somebody wants to write it in the chat. FORM stands for family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Motivation could be money or what's their end game. And I don't even do it thinking about it anymore because I've been trained on form for 28 years, right? Like if all of us are old enough to ride a bike, we probably don't need mommy or daddy to hold our seat at this point in our career, even though it's been probably 5 years since we rode a bike. We could probably get right back on that sucker and figure it out. Would you guys agree with that statement? For the most of us. And so that's no different than learning these skills over time. But form is family, occupation, recreation, money. I use it as a guideline to create and extend conversations. The more questions you ask about somebody and the more they're talking, the more their guard goes down, the more they're going to know, like, and trust you and go, wow, I don't know anything about DJ, but he knows everything about me. Like when I'm at networking events, I do this. When I'm meeting somebody the first time, my wife is always is betting internally if I'm going to open my mouth and talk to people because I always talk to people and I always start connecting with people wherever I go, whether it's a walk and someone's passing by. I'm like, hey, how's your day? And she knows that I'm constantly opening my mouth to start conversations because we all know the person that starts the most conversations wins. You have to be a professional conversation in this game. So I say all that to set up the conversation. So if I was like, for example, Glenn is brand new to our family community. Welcome, Glenn. Ryan Brimmer brought him in. He's in Canada. He works the night shifts. He works, and then during the day, he sleeps till late afternoon. He's got a couple hours a day in the evening time to work with us to build his part-time business. So eventually he can leave his full-time business. The reason I know all that, because I asked him a lot of questions and I remember what I talked to him about, because that's what I do is pay attention to what he's doing. I find out what their hot buttons are, where they're from, how much do they travel, what is their goal. I asked Glenn if, are you want to do this very part-time and just build this slow, or do you want to build this fast, right? That's one question that I asked Glenn, and he said, I want to build this fast. And I said, that's great. Do you want to just focus on making a little bit of money, a few $100, $500, or eventually do you want to make a lot of money? How many of you guys have heard me ask that question before? And just so you know, I'm not being a salesperson doing this. I'm genuinely interested in the person. All right, because I'm genuinely interested, and I'm going to use Glenn as an example because he's new on here, that we just recently spoke, is because I actually need to know what his goals are. So if I push him too fast and he wants to go slow, he's not going to like DJ and I'm going to knock him out of the game. But if I'm going too slow and he wants to go fast, I'm not going fast enough. He thinks this is a waste of time. And so I asked the questions so I know as a leader, as a steward to his goals, one, where he wants to go, how fast I can run with him. But here's the key part. I can leverage what he told me about his goals if he's slacking. Like if his goal is to leave his job in 6 months and replace his income, but he's on a track to do it in 2 years, I have Glenn's permission to use the velvet hammer to remind him why he got started in this business, to push him along because he's going too slow. Does that make sense to everybody? So I'm giving you guys the background and the psychology of why I do what I do. It's one, for him to have a clear vision, a roadmap, and a plan to his success, because so many people join a side hustle or an affiliate marketing company, and the person enrolling them, like if I enrolled Glenn and I signed him up, 99% of the people are like, yeah, I got one signed up. My work's done. Now I get to go to the well and find another person. And actually, that's not the case. I see Deborah shaking her head going, no, that's when the work gets what? Started. That's when the work gets started with what we're doing. It's the most important thing. And what the reason why a lot of people may not sign up in your business is because you don't give them a clear enough vision and a plan to where they believe they can do it. They have a track to run on, and they know exactly what they need to do to be successful. How many of you feel the same way that I just mentioned to you? And so I form them, I build rapport, and I ask them, I go, where are you from? Are you, or, where do you live? Canada. Are you from there? Yes. What's your background? How'd you get into what you currently do for your career? And he got into it because of his family background and his profession with what he's doing. He's into it because he has a big, loving heart. He's not doing it for the paycheck. He's doing it for a purpose with what he does without me getting into it. And so understand, I know all that stuff because I ask a lot of questions. And I said, what's your long game? What's your long-term vision? Do you plan on keep doing what you're doing the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Are you making enough money? If not, what are you doing to supplement? Is that what your goal is with what we're doing? All the things, I ask all these questions, and I ask them, what's their motivation, right? Where do you want to travel? When's the last time you traveled? What's holding you back from traveling? And I get all this information. And you know what? I always set the first 30 days is the same goal for everybody, but I position it differently. Okay. And what I mean by that is my number one goal is to get everybody to what, folks? How many of you, if you work for me for a while, you can put it in the chat. What's the number one goal in the first 30 days that everybody that I'm personally working with, my number one goal is to help them achieve? Okay, put in the chat if you know. Tracy knows. Good job. And so it's to get them to pool 2 in their first 30 days, because if they get into pool 2, we have a fast start bonus called 2+. Now, let me put that into perspective for you, why I push that hard. Now, I just got off the phone with a lady named Sonia. I don't know if she's on here. We just did a 3-way call with myself, James Kim's, who I see on here. We just did this an hour ago. And I said, listen, I know your number one goal is to make money as a travel agent, okay? But you signed up as an affiliate because I explained to her that you can just make money as a travel agent, which is great. You get 100% commission. We're qualified at the highest commission tiers with all the major providers, all the vendors out there, which is great. Now, would you also like to make passive income along the way? And before you answer that, let me explain, because we actually have an affiliate model. I call it a super affiliate program on steroids. And I say that, by the way. And I go, what I mean by that is, we actually, not only do you get paid a direct commission on anybody you refer into our company, you get reoccurring residual income on their monthly fee, but we take 33%, which is 1/3 of our gross sales, and we share it with all of our affiliates. And the more people you refer into us, other agents to our company, the more that you get to keep that company. You don't have to recruit affiliates. You don't have to create massive teams and duplication. But here's what you need to learn and understand. It's all about the words. It's all about the messaging that we deliver. I let them know, I know that you want to be a travel agent, but you signed up as an affiliate. So for the first 30 days, we're going to spin a couple different plates. Okay. We're going to juggle a little bit. The first plate I want you to spin is I want to help you enroll 3 other travel agents, because you're a travel agent. Our compensation plan is gamified. You get 3 points for your own sale as a travel agent, plus you get 3 for each additional, and you need 12 points to get to pool 2 in your first 30 days. And here's the reason why it's so important. I don't even talk about actual qualifications about all the other pools because they're not going to remember it anyways. All right. All I do is say we need to help you get 3 travel agents enrolled within your first 30 days. That'll put you in pool 1. That'll put you in pool 2. That'll put you in 2 plus. You're going to make $375 up front, and you're going to start your month 2 with $30 in residual income. All right. And you're going to make some money out of pool 1 and pool 2, and you're going to be in 2 plus. Now, why is pool 2 is so important your first 30 days? Because not everybody is going to get to the highest levels of the pools in our company. Would you guys agree with that? When you look at a corporate structure, it gets skinnier at the top, a little wider at the bottom, right? So and then in the middle is middle management. Not everybody's going to get to the top. However, when we get to $1 million a month and beyond, and there's $30,000 in pool 2 plus, because we put 3% in that pool, there's only going to be maybe 20% of the people tops. It might be closer to 15% that actually get to pool 2 in their first 30 days. And pool 2 plus, the benefit of that is you get paid like the big dogs that get to the higher pools in the long game. So it's your best shot to make some residual income to eventually you can walk away from your full-time career. So I'll teach you how to get to pool 3 through 10 later. Let's just get to pool 2 in your first 30 days. That's the first plate we're going to spin. Then the second plate we're going to start to spin is I need you in your first 72 hours to go through your travel agent training, and I make sure they know where that's at. And it's only 90 minutes. It's only 90 minutes to go through that training. Okay. And I also set the right expectations. After each training, you're going to request access to the vendors that you want to work with. And it can take 3 to 5 business days because it's a manual process. So in the meantime, we're spinning plate 1, where we're going to go get 3 other travel agents on so they can make some money, get some instant cash. And they're going to go through the training within their first 72 hours. How many of you like direction? Let's be honest. There's most people. Do you realize that our entire life, side note, going on a tangent, listen to me for a minute. Our entire life, we've been told what to do. Do you think that has something to do with in our subconscious why we all are not as independent as we should be? Is because we're conditioned and programmed to be codependent, because from the time we were born until you became an entrepreneur, you've been told what to do, when to be there, how to show up, when not to show up, what to say, what not to say, all the things in life. So if you give people timelines, deadlines, and expectations, do you know you're not like being defiant, you're giving them a game plan. Like, this is what we need to do. And when people have something to execute, more times than not, they're going to what? They're going to execute. Okay. So I tell them, the first plate, we're going to get you to pool 2 in your first 30 days. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to talk to about 10 to 15 people to take a look at the 3 videos, the same videos that you saw. Can you pique somebody's interest? Share the videos and put me on a 3-way chat. Most people say yes, they can do that. And then I'll get on, cast the vision, answer their questions, overcome any objections, questions, and close on your behalf. We've got a 76% conversion rate if you leverage me the right way, which is after they see the videos, they want to potentially be an affiliate. They just got some questions. You get them on with me. We're going to tag team and have some fun. All right. That's plate 1. Plate 2 is I'm having them in 90 minutes over 3 days, get their training done, request their access because it could take 3 to 5 business days. I set the proper expectations on that. And then the third plate they're going to spin while they're doing this, and they're typically writing notes, so don't get overwhelmed, is I make sure they're in the Levarti community. I have them go through the 5 steps to their success in the first 3 days, which will allow them to finish the obligation on plate 1, which is get to pool 2 plus. All right. And they're doing the activity of posting. How many of you guys saw my post in the last 5 hours about a deal overseas in a different country? Anybody ever seen that? I had 2 people today get in my, say, hey, send me info. I travel a lot. Sent them. They're in my DMs right now, and we're going to convert them to a customer by tonight or tomorrow, because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. It wouldn't make sense not to. So understand that we're posting. We're reaching out to people. The number one goal is to start conversations. And then literally this, what I told Sonia and I shared with Glenn, I go, after the first month, you're going to be qualified for Pool 2 Plus, always, if you qualified. If you didn't, you'll never get in it again. That's your only shot, okay? And so it's huge value. But what I teach you to do, and I still do this today, I've already enrolled 3 people this month myself, is my number one goal, even though I'm already qualified in Pool 2 Plus, because you don't have to do it every month. You just got to make sure you always have enough customers to qualify. For some reason, if you have a month where you don't, you just don't get paid out of it that month. But when you get the customer back, you're automatically back in it. Does that make sense to everybody? So, but what I do to trick myself, because I play mind games with myself, that's what you have to do when you're in business and self-employed. You got to set goals for yourself. Is I always act as if I have to requalify every month for Pool 2 Plus. I don't, but I act as if I do, because it always gives me 3 new people to work with. I make another, and I'm talking about the travel agent program. If I'm charging that, I make another $375 brand new money. I add another $30 to my residual income. So now I've got my second month, or third month now, I've got $60 in residual. And if I do that every month, I'm going to have hundreds of dollars in residual income. I'm going to make way more money than I invested. I can afford to go to the traincations. I can afford to pay off bills. I can afford to do things that I love to do, because all of us should know and realize that this type of business is designed to create leverage in your life, to create freedom, to lower anxiety, to have some cash flow, to get a part of a community and enjoy yourself. Do you guys all know that? And a few of you will take it serious where you want to go out and make 6 figures, 7 figures a year. That's okay too. But the masses are going to join this because they want to make an extra 500 to 2 grand a month. They want to be a part of a fun, exciting community, pay off some debt, go on some great vacations, and get some breathing room in life. Is that okay? And so just understand that. So you got the 3 plates. I'm going to recap. Plate 1, get them to 2 plus, even if they don't want to be a big builder and they want to go slow. So if someone says, when I go to Martha, do you want to do this slow or fast? If she says slow or fast, guess what? The game plan's the same the first month. Get everybody to 2 plus. If they want to make a little or a lot, great. Here's what we need to do. And it's the same game plan for everybody. What changes is month 2, 3, 4, or 5 and beyond. Because how many of you can reach out to enough people every month to show this to 10, 15, 20 people to get 3 people to say yes? That's all we're doing. So you can do this very part-time, where you can go slow, like, hey, reach out to 15, get 10 people to see it, get 2 to 3 sign up a month. That's a slow path. If you want to go faster, double the numbers. It's really that simple. And every month, if we all focus on this, here's what you need to understand. And I can share my screen real quick for those of you that are brand new. Real quickly, is that our compensation plan is very simple. So the reason why we want you to do this the way that we promote it is, number one, you're getting 25% of everything on the first month, 10% reoccurring. Each of our products have a point value, 1 point for the light, 2 for the passport, 3 for the travel agent. But right here, you can only control what's in the pink box. These are personal points. So if you come in as a travel agent, that's 3 points, and you get 3 other ones, that's a total of 12. You're at 12 points, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. So you plus 3 gets you there. But here's the cool part. When you start month 2 and you pretend you have to requalify again, and not only are you helping your new people that you just signed up get to 2 plus, but you're getting new people started. All these personal points count as your lineage. So you guys know there's 3 qualifications: personal sales, company growth after you get started. 100% of the people that enroll after you help you get to that second qualification. But without even paying attention to the third column of team qualification points, which is your lineage, you're automatically building this. You only need 300, basically 400 travel agents in your lineage to get to these higher pools. That's the beautiful thing about what we do. So if you focus on signing up, 3 new people every month, helping as many of them get to pool 2 that they allow you to, and you keep doing that, you're automatically building out of sight, out of mind, that third qualification for what I call the long game. And so if everybody understands that all they have to do is get to pool 2+, the people that helped you get there, help them get there. And if someone stops and they resist, and let's say you brought in 3 and 2 of them don't resist, 1 of them does, fine, go work with the 2. Crawl with the crawlers, walk with the walkers, run with the runners. And I teach people that ahead of time. And the last thing I tell people is this. I go, you're going to be overworked and underpaid for about 6 months, meaning you're going to put a lot more effort in than money coming out because you're building what we call the foundation. And then over time, it's going to flip because now you've created residual income. You're in the higher pools. Now there's more people putting, in new customers in. The revenue pools are getting bigger. You're getting excited. I can't remember who I shared this with yesterday or the day before, but ultimately, the hardest part of building this company, the way the compensation plan is structured, and we know that, but it's also going to be incredibly rewarding as well, is the hardest part will go from 0 when we first started in gross sales to $1 million a month. But do you guys realize if all of you just focus on 2 things, get to the highest pool you desire and helping the most people get qualified for 2+, so become a pool 2+ factory, okay? Like we should all get a hat that says 2+ factory, all right? And just that should be ingrained into our brain. Like the most people that have people in pool 2+ will be the ones in pool 7, 8, 9, and 10. I know that for a fact. But again, that's the long game, right? A couple of years down the road. But once we get to $1 million a month, all of you that I'm staring at right now, even the names, all right, I am telling you flat out, you will be carried to the finish line as long as you do your job before that, which is get to the highest pool you desire and help as many people get there as you can. Because right now, we're all hands on deck, right? And I'm being fully transparent about this. When we get to $1 million a month, all the new people that join after you are going to see how much money is in each pool by logging into their back office. And they're going to go, I want to be in that pool. That pool has my income that I want. They're going to know how many personals they need to get there. The company growth is going to happen organically because you can't stop it. And then they're going to get there. And you guys are going to ride that wave. If you're on the wave before the wave, that other wave pushes you. You all understand that, right? Like this is a very critical time for you to set yourself up for the rest of your life. Like I know in 2025, we'll be doing $1 million a month in sales. I know that there's about 13 months or less that I have to bust my ass like I've never busted in my entire life to get it there. And then once it's there, I get to maintain. How many of you work out? Anybody go to the gym on here? How many of you would agree if you're out of shape, like I was 50 pounds out of shape, all right? And I did a 90-day protocol where I ate super clean, ate 6 meals a day, didn't drink too much. I worked out 6 days a week, took 1 day off. And within 90 days, I went from 255 to 206.5. Okay, pretty good, right? But then what happened was, as I continued to work out, I maintained my diet changed a little bit. I eat clean about 80% of the time, 20% of the time I don't. All right. And I have a few more cocktails now than I did during that time. All right. So I'm actually living the life a little bit, right? Now understand something. When you get to your optimal weight, your ideal weight, like I have friends of mine that are shredded at the gym and I'm in there working out harder than they are. All right. But they work out less and they maintain. So I share that and analogy with you is because right now we all have to go get in the best shape of our life, which is getting this to $1 million a month. And then once we get to $1 million a month, you will be able to maintain for the rest of your life and more than likely make more money than you have ever made in your life when it comes to a side hustle. And that's our business. And by the way, I have those conversations with people I enroll because I don't want to set them up for failure. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I let them know that we have to go build this thing and the fruits of your labor will come on the back end. It's like planting a tree. You can't plant an apple tree on Friday and Monday start eating apple pie. It just doesn't work that way. You have to farm, you got to harvest, you got to water, you got to pick the weeds, you got to do the thing. You got to cultivate and all the stuff we do to build a business. Unfortunately, we live in a world where we live in an instant society gratification. You can download an app today and tomorrow make money. That's instant gratification, but you're still trading time for what? Money. So right now, yes, you're trading time for money, but you're building residual income at the same time to eventually you can walk away and still have that money come in. I see people getting checks on the 15th of every month with our company, and they're making 500, 1,000, $1,500 a month, and they may have worked 3 hours last month because they got where they wanted to go their first 30, 60, 90 days, and now they're making more money than their effort. Does that make sense to you guys? So just I challenge you to think about a couple things. Number one, when you're enrolling somebody, set the right expectations. All right, build rapport, connect, form them, find out their wants, needs, desires, and then your job when they tell you what they want is to deliver it with vision. And how you're going to learn how to do that is by getting me on three-way calls, and I'll help you do it. You let me get on 3 to 5 three-way calls with you over the next 30 days of people that have gone through the videos, and you could literally record me. I don't care. And you can hear the conversations. And most people, 9 out of 10, are very receptive. They're very excited. They're ready to rock and roll, and they sign up. All right. And then when I do a game plan call, they're very clear on the game plan. I make sure they're in the Levarti community, knowing where our apps are with, the scripts and tools and resources, which if they go through the 5 steps to success, you will be able to make it happen. Yeah, there's tons of people, Jessica. You could ask Jake to do it. You could ask any of your leaders to do it. I am fairly busy. I do about 10 to 12 meetings a day. However, I can fit, 20, 30 minutes in between some of those. Right now I'm booked, I think, through this week, but starting next week, I got some openings. I got some openings on Saturday that you can send me a DM. If you don't have my calendar to my booking calendar, send me a DM on Facebook. I'll send it to you. And if there's not a slot available the day you want, double check with me to see if I have an availability, because I don't have my calendar open on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, but I do book appointments individually on those days. But Monday through Thursdays when I have my calendar available. But I do make exceptions as well. So just make sure you guys leverage that. And other than that, I mean, drop some feedback in the chat. Did that help you guys out a little bit? Pretty clear. The biggest thing is people need to understand the vision. They need to believe they can do it. They got to believe it's simple, it's duplicatable, it's reasonable, it's not realistic. You got to give them steps to do everything. And then what I do also is I have them report back to me. Hey, once you're done with this, text me so I know you're on track. I have a guy that I just signed up, Tanner, last week, and he's already booking 7 cabins for a family going on a trip. He'll make over $1,500 his first week as a travel agent. The lady Sonia today, when I talked about spinning plate 1, I said spinning plate 2 is going through the 90 minutes of training. She goes, I already did that. Hey, that's a sign to me that she's ready to go. That's a buying sign, by the way. That's a sign like, okay, I got to spend some time with her. In fact, I said, I told James, I go, put me in a 3-way chat, give her my calendar, give her my direct phone number. That's somebody I want to run with. You guys, do you get it? Like if somebody says, well, I can't do it till after the first of the year, they're getting my Google number. All right. They're not getting my direct number. No disrespect. I'm not looking for people that make up excuses or reasons, right? So I listen and pay attention to those buying signs of my time. And I challenge you to put your time as valuable as I put my time. It's not being arrogant. It means you're busy. You guys are in a business for profit. All right. We have a nonprofit people can donate to, but this is a for-profit business and my time's valuable. And I hope you believe yours is too. All right. So Glenn and I have been chatting through Facebook Messenger. He knows his plan to get to, to pool 2 in his first 30 days. And he's got access to me. He's new, but he's said the right things. He's doing the right things. A guy that works late at night and only has about 4 hours a day and still takes care of a family, but he wants more to life and he's putting the effort in. He's going to get my time. You guys get that? And so set the right expectations, set the right standards for what you want. What you focus on expands. We all know that kind of stuff. And so it's just a super clear path on that. Let me see if I just missed anything that I wanted to share with you guys on that. I talked about, qualifying for pool 2 the second month, and every month I just continue to repeat that. And you're going to be building, you're going to have, when it comes to building, you're going to be, using multiple, you're going to be spinning multiple plates. You're going to be working with your first month people. You're going to be qualifying on your second month with new people, and eventually your third, and you're going to have all these things going. Like if you're a manager of a business, you're making sure the employees are all doing their job to have success. It's the same psychology around this, and you can make this incredibly fun, incredibly exciting, and exhilarating. All right. And so I'll do a deep dive on some of this on Saturday, plus a lot more stuff that we'll cover that I do on the follow-up, because I know some of you guys get ghosted when you reach out to follow up on people, which I do too, but there's a way to get someone to be go from a non-responder to a responder, which I'll help you guys out this Saturday. So we'll do a few of these pop-ups as well.